right now. Okay.
Hello, the internet.
Hello.
It's Denture.
Stop it, y'all.
You know I can't help myself.
I know. Okay, hold on. Let me see the
Yeah, I'm
chat.
getting the
It's
chat
up.
pulled
We
up.
are on. So we're started recording. Wait for people to hop in.
Hi, Georgiana.
Oh, let me mute. Sorry.
Move this over here.
Oh, hi, Georgiana. We are just talking about tonight, just helping anyone that has or is considering going through Russell Klein or Joe's Denture Lab, right, Donna? Is that right?
That's right. Chris said, hey, y'all. Oh, he said hello, y'all, but, you know, it translated in my brain to hey.
I just want to welcome Donna. And I definitely want to welcome Chandler from The Bite. He has joined us. So we're going to get some questions answered and just help you with Russell Klein experience and Jamie too. Hello, Tim, Chris.
I feel like we're an official panel right here. We got Denture Talk, and Chomper Chat, and The Bite. Like, I feel like it's a convergence of like morning shows on daytime TV or something.
I feel the same way. It's going to be fun.
How is everybody doing this evening? I see a couple in the chat. Let's get some more chat shout outs, y'all. Hello, say hi if you're here. I want to be able to say hi to you. You know, without it just being the generic, hey, girls and guys, hey.
We have 12 watching, so that's fine. They don't have to speak up if they're not comfortable.
True story.
Let's start talking about the impression kits or the kits. You know, overall, I think once you get that Russell Klein kit, you need to go over it and get the feel of it. Like in my last video, it's very important, especially with the trays. You want to make sure you read over the instructions too. It's really important.
Oh yeah, it's especially important to have everything like laid out, at least with Russell's kit, you know, lay everything out ahead of time. Look at it all, you know, make sure you have everything for one, and then just have it all ready. You know exactly what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it. You know, watch your time, all that stuff. So.
I think regardless of whose kit we're talking about, being prepared before you start is going to be hi Cynthia, is going to be the number one thing. I know that with Jamie's impression kit, the materials are a little bit different than what comes in Russell's kit, but you need to have all of your materials out. You need to be familiar with the instructions before you start. Just a little bit of preparedness goes a really long way with either of these kits.
Yeah, that is so important. You know what? I want to ask about the trays. I know Russell sends the metal or the plastic, but what I want to know personally for me too is how do you know it fits right? Is it supposed to be a tight fit, or are you supposed to have a little bit of room in between? So when you put that material in, do you have any idea, Donna, for someone that's waiting for their kits?
Yeah, the basic rule of thumb is that you want to have some wiggle room in there, because you don't want a flat spot where your gum meets up with the side of a denture tray, because then you'll end up with a flat spot in your denture. And I've got two different size trays here. I've got some eeny beeny trays and some medium sized trays. And so let me just we'll start with I'll just do my lower because it's easy. Look, I did a Donna, according to Lady V. Ah. But so I've got a pretty small ridge on the bottom. So if I put this in, okay, it hits inside in the back, and that's bad. And it doesn't go back far enough to where you get that little upward turn of your jawbone. Like you want that in your lower impression, just like you want the end of your ridge in your upper impression. So for me, I would have to go with the medium-sized tray for the bottom. And while it might look like there's no freaking way you're going to get this inside of your face and without dumping impression material everywhere or dropping the putty out of it or whatever, it'll go. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right, ladies. So it'll go. But you want that little bit of extra wiggle room there because you don't want a flat spot in your denture.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely when I did my upper, that was the hard one for me. It makes you want to gag a little bit. You just have to kind of slow down, take a deep breath, let it sit, and go. Okay, I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna get through it. But I was definitely glad to get it out. But yeah, you just want to be careful not to bite through the impression material through the tray. There was one spot on mine where it like got kind of close to the tray, and I kind of started to see it through there. And I was like, I asked Russell, I was like, is that all right where it's at? I took a picture of it, sent it to him. He was like, yeah, I'll be fine. You'll be all right. So little things, you have to converse with your denture maker about, but you definitely want to watch out for a tray that's too small.
Hello, Lady E. Hello, Kim. Hey, Kathy. Okay, now there's a question here, and I know a lot of Russell Klein people are watching, going to watch the replay. When he sends material, and I'm not ever going to question this man, but I'm going to tell you, when you get that tray and you get the material, sometimes it's like you can put enough in there, but then there's some, like there's a dome, and there's no way you can put it in your mouth. There's no way you can put it in your mouth. Okay, so you can remove a little, but it has to be sitting in like that. Do you agree, guys, or not?
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. I know that with the alginate material, it's okay if when you put it in your mouth and push it up in where it belongs, that the stuff runs over the sides. That's perfectly fine. Just like Chandler said, so long as you don't end up, hitting rock bottom on that tray, or you end up with a flat spot, scrubbing the side of your gums with the tray or something like that. But it's perfectly fine for it to squish up and over. I assume it's the same with the putty, but I know that's how it is with the alginate.
Yeah, from my experience with the putty, it's good to have a decent amount in there because you want it to just overflow and go everywhere. It's going to be kind of messy, but it all comes out, and you want to have it. The way mine was I had just enough. It was like level. It wasn't like it was mounted up on top. It wasn't caving in on it. It was just enough to where it was level, and that was about enough. It overflowed just the right amount.
Yeah, but I know, people panic. Once that material's in the tray, they're like, there's no way. And I was that person one time too. But there is a way if you just take a little bit off, as long as there's enough to get it in there, and don't push down, because once you get your denture, or if you're going to take a print impression with your dentures, that's fine, or gums, or your real teeth, you just want to press down, don't bite down. Well, you got to push up with the upper. You push up, or if it's your lower, you're going to push down. You don't bite into it. That's what Russell says. So I don't know how everyone else does it, and see, it's going to come out. It's going to overflow. And this is not probably the accurate amount. This is Play-Doh, y'all. So, okay, I like the Play-Doh. Get off of it.
No judgment here, man. I play with Play-Doh myself. I buy it for me and say it's for the kids. So I get it.
I debated on stealing some of my kids' Play-Doh because I couldn't find any at Dollar Tree the other day. And I was like, I wonder if my kids have any laying around somewhere.
Get that ass on Pinterest and find you a recipe. It's super simple to make it.
And I truly recommend, seriously, really recommend, if you're waiting or you're considering or you're scared, or whatever the case might be. If when it comes to Russell and the impression kit, you're worried about that 10 seconds to mix, go get the Play-Doh. Get 2 different colors and practice. Get a timer out, whether it's on your phone or it's a cooking timer, whatever you want. Practice before you make that decision of going through Russell if you're worried about that not mixing it right. And a lot of people are focused on that uniform word, uniform color. It's possible, it is. But don't focus that I can't do it. Just focus on mixing fast and get it mixed as much and fast as you can in that 10 seconds. Not 11 seconds, it's 10 seconds. And get it in that tray and in your face. It's important. It sets quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It sets really, really quick. And like I did mine, for immediate, so I still had my teeth and stuff. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this out without, like, my teeth were in really bad shape. So I was like worried that it was going to like rip teeth out with it or something like that. It's not that tight of a hold. So don't be worried about that if that's something you're worried about too. But yeah, don't be too focused on any specific thing about the instructions. You know, some people get a hang up on the 10 seconds, on, you know, the 10-second rule, or the you know, the uniform color. Don't try to get hung up on any one thing too much. You want to make sure you're taking in everything about the instructions and doing it all evenly, you know.
Yep. Same goes for anybody that's considering going with J.O.'s Denture Lab. He uses the dental alginate material instead of the putty. And I had nightmares before I went and had my teeth pulled about them wanting to take my impressions and yanking teeth out with the alginate, because it does, like at the dentist's office anyway, it causes some, I don't know what it is that they do. It's like they try to pull it straight down when they take it back out of your mouth. Whenever you're at home, you can loosen it up the same way that you do your denture and take it back out. It's important to get the tray into your mouth in a timely manner so that you can get the impression, but you don't have to be in an all-fired hurry to take it back out. So like Chandler said, don't be afraid of ripping out teeth, because you're not going to get that kind of hold with the alginate or even with the putty. You can take your time and take that sucker back out in a way that makes you feel comfortable.
Hey, Donna, where's your video at that shows you doing the kit? I want to put it in the chat if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
If you don't mind.
Yeah,
so if someone's even thinking and seeing if they can do it. And Chandler, if you have anything that you want to post in there as far as videos going with Russell, it's up to you. It's not a big deal, hon. But it's really important on either, whatever you decide, whether it's Jamie or Russell. Ask questions. It doesn't cost anything to ask questions, whether you get the kit or not. Whether the kit's on the way to you and you still have questions, you always ask questions. You're not bothering either one of them. That is their profession. That's why they're doing what they're doing. If you can't get a hold of either one of them quick enough, I don't know. Just saying, there's people out here like Donna, Chandler, me, other people to ask. We're here for you. This is the whole point of this live stream right now, is to help you.
The groups. Yeah, the groups are important too. You'll find people from all walks of denture life in the groups. And I'm sure that in the support groups, I know in Margaret's Denture Talk group, there are lots of Russell Klein customers, and in the Chomper Chat group, there are a mix of both. So that's another place to go to if you're not sure of who to talk to about things, or you don't want to bother your denture dude with questions and that kind of thing. I know a lot of people have a hang up about that.
Yeah, so far I'm only a part of Margaret's group, but I may have to join your group as well, Donna. I haven't found it yet, but I'll go looking for it after we get off this. So.
Hello, Sherry. How are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, Chandler. It's in the About section on Denture Talk. In Denture Talk, just go there, and her group's there. Donna's is. It's a great group. It's a great group. That's all I'm saying.
Awesome. I'll go look for it. Support's really important, but we talked about that in the past before, so I won't interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're correct. Finish. You better finish. Not really.
Yeah, you're not an interruption. You're here for a reason,
No,
dude.
there wasn't really a whole lot I needed to say, but support's really important before and after extractions, and then obviously depending on what route you go with dentures as well, whether you're getting them from your dentist or you're going with Joe's or you're going with Russell Klein. However you're doing it, support's really good to have. And I've talked to many people who are now considering Russell Klein's because they've seen my videos, and I was like, really? I'm happy that I've been able to help. That's what it was all for. But I've also heard that some people aren't having the same experience I had. I don't believe I was just lucky. I do think I had the normal Russell Klein experience. It went very well, and but I had a lot of support, from Margaret. I had a lot of Margaret's videos to watch, and that was great.
Okay. Now, I know with Russell Klein, Donna, we have to take pictures of the upper and the lower. Then we have to measure the canine up and lower and the molars, Chandler, and send it to him. Those kits are totally different, but they're cool. I loved your video. I loved it. It's like baking a cake or something. It's awesome.
Right. Yeah. And that's funny because in the instructions included with the kit, there's actually reference to biscuit dough and cake batter because it is, that's the consistency that you're looking for out of the stone, or the consistency that you're looking for out of the alginate material. Is you want one to look like drop biscuit dough and you want the other to look like thick pancake batter. It's just so yeah, that's interesting that you compare it to like a cooking show or whatever. Oh shit, if I could remember what I was going to say. What was your the measurements and the pictures. Yeah, so Jamie does things a little bit differently where the bite registration in that is concerned than what Russell does. Jamie will send out a wax bite block that is custom fit to the mold of your mouth. Okay, so I'm going to pull these bad boys out again. These were mine. This is a set that's not getting used. I actually had to do new impressions, so I'll be getting a new one. So these are mine to keep. But these are the stone casts of the inside of my mouth. That's my lower. Okay, so what he does is he will cut out the spaces for the teeth and put the teeth in here. So this would be your wax try-in before it ever gets teeth. So what he does is he gets pictures of your current smile, and then he'll get the impressions, make the casts of your mouth, and then send you these. And you can build up wax where you feel like you need it. If you need extra lip support somewhere, you can add wax. If your mouth won't close with these inside, you can cut wax off of it. Whatever it is that you need to do to make these fit inside of your face comfortably. And then you send that back to him with bite registration material. And the bite registration material he sends is actually the putty that Russell uses for impressions. So the bite registration material will go from canine to canine, and he's got it marked off already. You see the little notches cut? That's where canines go. So that's where the measurement part comes in, is whenever he gets the mold of your face done, he can usually tell, like you can tell here that my lower canines were right here and right here. And then if I put the wax back on it, that's exactly where the notches are, right there and right there. So that's where he does the measurement bit himself. It was a fail point on the client end for a long time. So he adjusted his process so that they don't have to take their own measurements anymore.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
That's really cool, Donna. I mean, with Russell's, it was, at least in my case, the people I've seen different things sent to them from Russell. Some get the big wax, bite with it looks like half a hockey puck or something. And I got the little, looks like a strip of gum. And you had to warm it up and roll it, and then curve it to your mouth and stuff. And so that's what I did. I actually I redid it myself like 3 or 4 times. I was so worried about messing it up, and ended up turning out fine. But I was more worried because I'd seen so many people having trouble with it, and so many people having trouble with the impressions that, I wanted to make sure I did it perfect every time. And a couple of times the wax bite didn't come out the way I thought it should, so I retried it. But important thing is just don't crush it. It's really, really easy to crush.
Yeah, it absolutely is. My first set of JOs, and this was actually from an attempt for permanent dentures. But he's a little backed up on orders right now, so I'm waiting to send him my new impressions. But the first time around, I got the sheet of wax that you roll up and make into that C shape and that, or U shape or whatever. And I must have played with that. I must have melted it down and redid it at least 6 times. And I didn't figure out until about the 3rd time that if you push it up into your upper first and then bite up with your lower, you get a much better bite registration than you do if you try to bite into it like a friggin' apple. Like, it took me 3 tries to figure that out.
Yeah, the same thing for me too. It took me forever to figure out, like, okay, I'm going to put it on my uppers first and then, bite into it that way. And that helped. But yeah, I played with that thing for forever because a couple times it was like, oh, I bit too much into it and I got to go warm it back up and roll some more, But it wasn't a huge deal, but that is something to watch out for.
I wanted to show the 2 materials that you get. It's this one. You get 2 packets per tray, whether it's upper or lower. And these 2, once you open them and you touch them together, they do activate. And that's when you set your timer. That's when you start mixing quick. And I'm going to try to do it later. We're only 17 minutes into the hour, so I'm going to do it and show y'all. I know you get, if I'm not mistaken, I think you get more material for the upper and not so much for the lower. The lower to me is easier. It's real easy. I think it's a little more to it, or maybe stressful to some when it comes to that upper tray and the material, because it does seem like a lot. But I do want to show that before we do end. Just using Play-Doh, I could actually use some of that and show you how quick it sets up. I don't know if I should, because I do want to do that upper later in a video for people. But does anyone have any questions? Hey, there's Chandler in the chat. I just noticed that. And Russell Klein, he does do everything. Well, not everything. He doesn't do snap-ins for implants, but he does partials. He does full. He does horseshoes at request. And no matter what you're getting, whether it's a partial, a full, upper, lower, a horseshoe, you all have to start with an impression kit. They all start out the same, but they don't all end up the same. I'm saying if you're getting a partial or even a little Nesbit, these cute ass little one-tooth wonders. The cat can actually wear this dang thing, but I'm just saying he can make just about anything for you.
You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit. It plays in my head every time you call it by its name. I cannot even help myself. Oh my word. But yeah, the process is the same with Jamie. It all starts with impression kit. No matter what it is that it ends up at, everybody starts at the same point.
I had no idea that they made partials that small. I thought they always had to have like a palette on them or something. I just don't know that much about partials. And so the one video I saw Margaret showing that off, and I was like, that's a tiny little partial. That thing, in some ways, I don't know how well it snaps in, but I would be worried about swallowing it or something like that, or like Margaret said, dropping down the drain or something,
Russell said a lot of people, if they don't want that little bitty partial, they'll go for this right here. They'll put 2 little Nesbits on this, just start with one. And I wouldn't want that myself. I would lose it or swallow it. That would be messed up. It went down with a pizza.
Yeah, for back teeth, I think if I were just missing one, I wouldn't worry about it. Like I wouldn't even end up with a partial for back teeth for me. But the first teeth that I lost were this one and this one. A central incisor and a lateral incisor, and being right in the front of your face like that, I had to have something to fill in that gap. You don't realize just how big your front teeth are until you lose one of your adult ones. That was a ginormous gap right there, and I ended up with a flipper plate like the one that you just showed.
Yeah, the first teeth to go for me, well, honestly, the first teeth to go for me were a couple molars, but I didn't worry about those as much, like you. And it was when the front teeth started to go, it was like, okay, now I got to fix this. Like something's going wrong. But yeah, the front teeth, you don't realize how big they are and how much you use them until they're not there no more.
Yeah, man, I broke off the first one of mine eating a peanut butter sandwich. That was an experience, because the second one I broke off eating a Cheeto, but a peanut butter sandwich, of all the things to rip out one of your teeth, and it snapped right off, right at the root line, just at the gum line, just blink, and there it went. It was insane.
Yeah, it's crazy the stuff that you will lose. Like if you're in any of our cases where you've had bad teeth, how easy it is. Like you think, oh well, I'll stay away from the hard stuff, the jawbreakers, the Jolly Ranchers, all that stuff. But eating a piece of toast, I think one of mine broke off. And then another one for me, I think was might have been peanut butter and jelly too. I can't remember.
That's what we get for eating kid food as an adult. I swear.
I'm sorry, Chandler. That made me think of your story the first time you were here, where you're eating peanut butter and your denture went with your bread. That was funny shit.
Yeah, that was a fun time though. I just laughed about it. Like it was really funny because I was just sitting there eating and not paying attention, and it just like denture stayed in the sandwich, and I was just like, really? Okay. And I just kept on going like nothing happened. Like it was really bizarre, but
Okay, real quick, when if you are considering or you're doing your impression kit with the Russell, there's something that you need to know. If not everyone does the wax try-ins, I think that's an important part. It gives you opportunity to check everything out. Not everyone does it, but there's been some good results of that too. But this is very important. Hold on, hold on 1 second. Hold on, I'll have to come back. I told you I didn't have my notes.
no, I didn't do the wax try-in because I did immediates, so I wasn't able to do those. But I hear that can really help the fitment and stuff if you're going for permanence. So I will probably do that once I'm fully shrunken and everything. In the next, I think it'll be like January or February will be like my 6-month mark, and I might end up doing that then.
Yeah, I didn't get an opportunity for wax try-in with my very first set of dentures, which I got from Affordable Dentures. They were immediates, and they were 100% terrible. With the rate at which my gums shrank and my mouth changed, they were absolutely, it was like I was wearing someone else's dentures after like the 2.5 month mark. It was awful. And so I got these to do until once my gums slowed down some, I figured, all right, I'll get some intermediate dentures to wear in between the immediates and the permanent ones. So that's where these came from. And just waiting until that 4-month mark, that 5-month mark, that 6-month mark. For me, I did impressions at month 4, and I got the dentures at month 5. But for me, like I'm not wearing it. I have a soft reline in right now, but I'm adhesive free upper and lower, and it pretty much stays like that. I'll have to redo my reline because they wear out. But aside from that, I haven't really had a whole lot of changes. I'm not using adhesive. I'm not struggling to keep them in when I eat or anything like that. So you're smart to wait until, you know, a good point like that.
Well, dang, y'all look really good for no wax trying. I'm shocked.
Oh no, these I most definitely had a wax try-in for these. I thought that was very, very important after not having a wax try-in for my immediate dentures and having them be the ginormous pains in the dick that they were. I felt that it was really, really important to get that wax try-in for these, and I was actually somewhat, I hate to say it, I was actually somewhat picky about it because the wax try-in doesn't fit the same way that a denture fits. And it worried me because the walls were short and there was like no lip support and, you know, all this stuff. And he's just like, is everything lined up right? And my biggest concern was that damn midline. My midline on my immediate dentures was smack in the center of one of the central incisors. Like it was an entire half a tooth off and a whole tooth off on the bottom. It was like somebody punched me in the face while I was doing my impressions and just jarred everything a half a tooth to the left. It was stupid. So I trust and believe I got that wax try-in when I had the opportunity, and I'm so glad that I did. Look at that midline here.
Okay, let me get this out before I forget. Okay, look, it's really important to those that are getting the wax try-ins. Once you approve and tell Russell everything is fine, then that's when it becomes your finished denture. He does not change anything at all. You need to know that. So once you approve and say everything is fine, then he's thinking everything is fine. If it's not, then you need to speak up and don't make it his fault. Let me stop right there.
And where you stop, I'm going to pick up. The same goes for J.O.'s Denture Lab. Jamie actually sends along a form with each, if he's supposed to anyway, whether he's been doing it or not is beyond me. So if anybody has experience and wants to speak up, that'd be cool. But at least for me, he sent along a form every time he sent a wax try-in. And either I would sign off on it and say it was cool on the front side, or on the back, I would make notes and sign off on those. These changes need to be made before I will approve this denture. And that's what he went off of, the notes on the back of the form or the signed form. But once that signed form was signed, then the responsibility for the way that that denture fit fell to me. And that's how it goes for anybody else doing the wax try-in with him as well.
And you guys don't, I've heard a couple people talk about, at least I've seen it with Russell, is that, you know, Russell doesn't get back to me very quick. It takes forever. All that kind of talk. Be patient with both of these guys. They're both really good at what they're doing. They're taking their time, making sure they get everything right. I've said that before. Be patient with him. He responds like once a day, at least Russell does. And he will get back to you, but just be patient.
Yeah, same goes for Jamie. He will give, and people kind of like wait in a line until the next step goes out, and then you kind of go back into the line when you send stuff back to him. So once he gets your case in his hands, it gets the same kind time and attention to detail that the case before it got, and that the case after it will get. So it's important with both of these guys that you allow them to give the time and attention to detail to someone before you, because when it gets to your turn, they're going to give you the same time and attention to detail. I mean, it's just the patience thing is really, really important.
Yeah, I agree with Sherry, and I always felt that way. I rather wait on him than him do a rush job, and then it delays everything. Then it pisses you off, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to say something real quick. When it comes to that impression kit, once you take your impressions, you send it off to Russell. In the meantime, you're taking photos, if I'm not mistaken, Chandler. You take your photos, you take your measurements, you send it on its way. But he's not going to further anything more until he has those 3 items in his hand. He has them. The measurements, the photos, of course, yeah, and the impressions. And then that's when the dentures process starts, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me, Chandler. I think that's right.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much right. For me, he wanted to see pictures beforehand because I still had my teeth and stuff, and he wasn't sure about the bite. I didn't have front teeth anymore. Like, there was some left of my front teeth, but he wasn't sure if I'd be able to fully impress on that wax bite. So he honestly advised me not to do immediates through him. He said, I would rather, I would advise you to wait and get your permanents, through me. Because like he just wasn't sure about those front teeth. He just wasn't sure he could get the line up right and the center line and stuff. But they turned out great. So I chose to go ahead and do them. I said, let me try them. At least let me try the impression kit and the wax trying. And then if you think it's not a good thing, it's really bad, it's not going to work out well, then, I'll wait. But at least it's only $50 that I spent on that. And it's not like I went and put a whole bunch of money into it and then found out they didn't work. So, and he let me know. He's like, no, after he got the impression stuff back, he was like, actually, it's going to work great. So it worked out.
I think overall, between whatever route you go, I don't care if you go walk into a dentist office, communication is everything. But I know it's difficult. Some dentists don't listen. They think it's their way and that's it, which is wrong, but that's not every dentist. But you need to keep the communication going, definitely with these mail orders. You're not bothering nobody. But what was I going to say? It's just important that you keep the communication going.
Margaret and Chandler, what would you guys have to say to somebody that wants to go through mail order instead of going through their dentist because it seems like it would be easier than going through the dentist?
For me, I would have to tell you that that's really cool that you've decided to go mail order with your dentures, and I would try to help you as much as I could. But I would tell you right off the bat, it is not easier than going to your dentist. In some ways, not always, but some ways. In some ways I felt like I got a little bit more one-on-one with Russell than I did with my dentist, because I was able to message him directly and talk directly to him, and he was really cool the whole time. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's easier, because you're always, when it comes to dentures, anything with you're getting your teeth extracted, dentures, anything like that, you're always going to run into stuff that you weren't expecting. At least in my scenario, in my cases, I always would run into something I wasn't expecting. When I first got my dentures, they didn't quite fit right because they're immediates. I'm not going to, but that's something I didn't expect, and so I had to find something else to work around it. It's not necessarily easier, but I would definitely, help anybody out and advise them along the way as much as I could.
For me, I am going to say easier, because it wasn't so much emotion tied into it from my experience of going into the dentist office, feeling like everyone's staring, feeling very ashamed, all that. I didn't have all those emotions. But I did have the feeling of wanting to get it right the first time, and actually I didn't, because I took the upper on the lower and the lower on the upper. It was a mess, but he fixed it. So, I mean, I like the way I went. I like the money that I saved, and I'm just happy overall. Now, what about you, Donna?
For me, I found it to be a double-edged sword. On one hand, when you're working with these mail order guys, these dental technicians, you're the boss. They're used to that. They're used to the customer or the dentist that they're working with in the lab where they work or worked being the boss, and they're used to following directions. So you're the boss and you're in control of your smile. On the other hand, you are not a voice of experience. You haven't been around that dental block, so to speak. So unless you keep that line of communication open with your denture guy, you're gonna fuck something up. So there's two edges to that sword for me. It's easier in some senses and not quite as easy in others.
Yeah, I do get that. That's a good point, Margaret. Sorry, before Donna got up there, but I didn't think about the time, going into the office, that could be stressful for a lot of people. I didn't think about that part of it. Mine were also Russell's at least in Russell's case, they are cheaper. I, put in, I did the maximum amount of stuff I could to mine. I got the ultra thins, I got the bleach shade, and I still, in my case, only spent around $1,000. And that's pretty good for a full set of dentures, I think.
Absolutely. I saved a butt ton of money myself. So, and I'm sorry, let me just touch on this real fast, Margaret, where you said, having the emotional experience going into the dentist office and stuff. Going into affordable dentures, when I went in for my initial consultation, I had a really hard time with it. But when I went in for extraction day, there was just like all these old people sitting around, like super old, like ancient, like old enough to be my grandparents, old people sitting around. And the one goes, "Honey, what are you here for? Are you picking up your mom or your dad?" "Honey, I'm 48. I'm here for dentures." "I am not 48. I'm 48. I'm here for dentures." "Girl, you look fabulous." I totally turned that shit around and made my day awesome. It was great.
All right. I didn't really want to hit on it, but I think it's important. And you know what I'm talking about, Donna. And I think you do too, Chandler. Okay. Now we've witnessed this. We've witnessed it in groups, whatever, more than 4 wax impressions or bites. When is enough? When is enough? When does Russell say that's enough? Or when does the customer say, I'm tired. I'm tired of this, When should the point stop? When should it stop? That seems so frustrating, actually. I wouldn't do it no more than 3. I'd be saying, no, I can't do this. No matter whose fault it seems to be, but I would not do it no more than 5, 6, 7. I mean, and it's costing you money. I don't know how Jamie does it, but a lot of people ruin that. It used to be no cost at all. Russell would send it out, and then the hate got real, and the false claims, and then mother beep.
I'm sitting here going blah 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 because I have a lot to say. Currently, where Jamie's business is concerned, he's at the point now where there are a few people that have finally ruined it for everyone else. 2 impression kits, 2 wax try-ins, unless it's something that's his fault or something that nobody could foresee, like the weather warped a wax try-in or, something like that. That's not his fault. That's not your fault. You send it back to him and he'll redo it. But if you didn't pack it properly and it came back to him smushed, you're going to pay for another one if you want another one, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's 2 and 2 for Jamie, and that's actually something I have to. And I manage his website. Like, let me just put that out there. I manage Jamie's website. Everybody who didn't know, I'm a big dork, and when he found out I was a big dork, he asked me to manage his website. So that's what I do. So he's asked me to go in and start ripping apart kits and redoing some of the product copy to show that 2 wax try-ins are included. And then there's this extra one that you can get if you need a third, or if you need a 3rd impression kit or a 4th impression kit or a 5th impression kit due to something that's your fault, not something that's Jamie's fault. He totally will cover his own mistakes. But yeah, it's come to that point where it can't be unlimited anymore because there are so many people that I don't know if they're abusing it or it's just inattentiveness or they're just really just can't get the hang of it. But there's been a couple of the nasty ones, like you said, Margaret, that have really just, and the financial aspect of it too, going back and requesting a refund from PayPal after you have your dentures and you're wearing them in selfies. That kind of thing happens, which is stupid and shameful, and shame on you if you've done that. Yeah, I'm not gonna say any more than that because I'm starting to get heated.
There's a lot of people, different people that. Yeah, but okay, let's talk about this place. There's this one man there's a lady that got the displays. She knew what it was all about, read the description, read the details. And then when she got it, she soaked and washed them and said it had no more new car smell. They don't have a smell. They're displays. There's no guarantee in the bite. And I hope she's watching. There's no guaranteeing the bite. It says that in the description. And and in the detail, it's so important. If you go on those in the denture store on Joe's website, read read the description and the detail. It will save you frustration. If you still don't get it, you start writing somebody or picking that phone up for Jamie, whatever. I mean, it's just irritating to me, and I ain't even run the business.
Yeah, it really sucks when just like a couple people kind of really ruin it for everybody else. But I would say no more than 3 times. 3 times on your third time of trying to do those impressions or those wax try-ins, you guys need to part ways. Like, it's just not working. So either the customer is not understanding the instructions, or the denture maker just doesn't understand how the customer wants things done, or something isn't working. So by the third strike, you're out. It's done deal. Call it quits.
I feel like in some cases where 3 strikes, there might be like another, and here I'm going to mix words together. There could be an attempt at a point conversion afterwards by, say, a video chat while they're doing the impressions to see, okay, now do this. Okay, now do this. But these guys don't have time to video chat with everyone like that. Like, they're popular, they're busy. The process isn't just, snap your fingers, put something into a machine, and things are finished for you. That's not how it works. It's a handcrafted item, a set of dentures is. So, I mean, and that would have to be reviewed on like a case-by-case basis, in my opinion. But I'm not the guy sitting in the lab, so I don't really get much say in that. Debbie, you're so fun. Debbie said that's me. She's not wrong, but we love her anyway. Bless her heart. Debbie, do you mind if I share a little bit of what's going on with you right now? Is that okay?
Well, we're waiting on her. It's just mainly important. Sorry, Chandler, was you trying to get in? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to be rude. It's really important just to do your research, no matter who you're going through. Ask questions, get a feel of everything before you even order the kit. Really get out there and do your research, ask questions. No, make everyone. Okay, she just answered.
No, go ahead, Margaret. Go ahead and finish up what you were saying.
No, but I can, for sure, no one's gonna get everything right the first time. I mean, when you're in that mind frame, I know when I got mine, even doing this for the videos, I was nervous. I was nervous to get it right, because I'm showing all y'all. And I get that. And you're gonna have a mistake somewhere because it's your first time. It's your first time. You know what I mean? Bye.
Yeah. What I did for my impressions was I rolled out the material on a piece of wax paper, and I did the worm method. I don't know if it was one of Margaret's videos that I saw it in, or whose video I saw it in. Somewhere I happened to see that you roll it each color out like a long worm, and you lay it on a wax paper, and then you alternate the colors back and forth. And when you hit go on the timer, you roll all those together really, really fast and start mushing them together as fast as you can for only 10 seconds. Whether it's, I guess you could say whether it's consistent color or not, and you shove it in your, tray and get it going. That's how I did it. And it worked out better than I thought it would. Because I had these 2 big things in my hands of different color mix. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get these to be uniform color in 10 seconds. Like, there's a lot there. So that's what I did. And that helped mix it together better.
Real quick, I just posted that video what you're talking about, and thank you for bringing that up, because I have never seen that technique, and it's just genius, actually. It's fine how she did it, it only matters when they start touching that activates everything. But she did. I did post the video there if anyone wants to check it out, learn that way. Awesome. That's great, Chandler.
Girl, you know I couldn't leave the first time comment alone. No, the whole thing with Debbie though is, hey, what's up, kid? Okay, I'll take care of it as soon as I'm done here. The whole thing with Debbie was that the first set of impressions, they looked good in the pictures because she sent me pictures of them, but Jamie got them back and it made a mold that looked like it came out of an alien's butt crack instead of a human being's mouth. Like, and the impressions looked good. They totally did. They looked amazing. And, you know, it wasn't anything that I could tell that she did on the pictures. It wasn't anything that, go ahead and laugh it up, guys. It's fine. It wasn't anything that Jamie said that he could see on the pictures. He didn't know that they were bad until he got the cast made from the impressions. So she had to do it a second time. And then those were great. Those were wonderful. But then one broke. Like one of the casts broke. So then she had to do it again and messed it up at home and didn't bother sending it back and asked me for another kit. And so it's just been one thing after the other. Thank you for the emoji, Margaret. With Debbie, it's been one thing after the other, and she's just having such a horrible run of luck with the impressions that the next kit that we send that gets sent out to her, I'm going to see if she'll do a video call with me so that, you know, she feels better about what she's doing, because that nervous factor, like you said when you were doing your video, that nervous factor really, you get inside of your own head and there's no way to do things correctly when you get inside your own head like that. You psych yourself out so easy.
That is so true. That is so true. You just get that mind will jam you with some negativity, or I can't do it right. And we know we got to try to do it right because we can't run out and just go to Walmart and get that material again. Let me announce this real quick. October the 1st, which is next Monday, Dr. Kendarian and Ian will be here from Stable Dent. If you have any questions, bring them. The main subject I would like to hit on is the midline. The midline. It's so important, and that's the best person to ask is Dr. Kendarian. I can't wait. I love those men. They're awesome.
That was the most realistic fart noise ever, and it was right in my ears. We turned up like almost on full volume, so all of a sudden it was just right. Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
I don't know you.
See, this is how you know we're getting down to the last 15 minutes. I start losing my shit and I can't keep it together.
This is the most hilarious live I've ever done, and I've only done 2. But you know what I mean. This is definitely going up there. That noise, that fart noise was. I'm gonna have to hire you to do some sound effects for videos I do, because that was wow. That was spot on.
I don't even know you. How are you people getting in my live stream?
Girl, I'm over here frantically looking for a post-it note that I can write 9.5 on and hold it up like the fucking Olympics right now. That's where my mind is.
Does anyone have any questions, or did y'all have a good weekend? I mean, I know we're just about to end. We got 18 minutes. Let's talk about this. How's everyone feeling? Any questions?
I love when a line of poop emojis appears in the chat. That's how I know we're doing it right. Everybody looks over this way. That was funny. Megan, you're amazing. My weekend was fantastical. I don't remember a lot of it because I took my meds before I went to bed. So yeah, I had a great weekend. At least the evenings were really good. Really good. What about you, Chandler? How was your weekend?
I know. I'm sitting there thinking, Jesus.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat. I got sidetracked.
It's all good,
We're
dude.
still alive. Oh no, it was fine. I didn't do a whole lot. It was I did some work in the yard, mowed. Worked on schoolwork. Honestly, I've been meaning to get to a video about Dr. Berlin's cleaning it crystals that I got. And by the way, Margaret, I got your package today for my wife. But I've been doing videos on each of their products, and I haven't gotten to it. I guess got too busy with school and work in the yard and stuff like that. I just haven't got to it yet. So if anybody's wondering where that's at, it's coming, just not there yet.
Since we've been talking about, the denture dudes, Russell and Jamie, that's something that I want to touch on real fast. I'm glad you said something about it, Chandler. Real life happens too. And, these guys have families and they have, a life outside of the denture lab, or at least I freaking hope they do, because that would drive me up a wall to be stuck doing the same thing from the time I got up until the time I went to bed every single day. So, that's another thing to understand where the patience card comes in is, it's not, they don't live and breathe the dentures 24 hours a day. So, you have to allow for things like give them some business hours, I'm sure that there's a time where they're working and a time where they're not. And, when they go on vacation, I know Jamie doesn't take his business with him. He'll poke his nose at the email and then climb up my butt about it. But but aside from that, he's not doing anything in the lab. I mean, he's not even in the country right now. He's not doing anything in the lab. His cell phone isn't on. I don't know how it is with Russell when he goes on vacation, but that's a big thing with the patience card too, is that life happens. I don't always get to a video every single day or the same day of every week. Chandler's been busy with school. Margaret's got stuff in her life going on sometimes too. And, just it happens. It happens to me, happens to them too. Important to be patient. Okay, I'm done.
There's a comment here. It's been 5 months and I ate sushi and the soy sauce caused some burning, which was weird. Well, congratulations, you were able to eat sushi. I love sushi. But the burning, that must have been the, what is it? Kasabi? What is it called? Wasabi?
Wasabi.
Wasabi, yeah. I don't know. I do want to say congratulations to Kayla. She got her teethies pulled out her face today, so now she'll be a full-fledged denture wearer. I'm very happy for her.
Not only did she get her teethies pulled today, she went live twice after getting home from the dentist. Like, how freaking hardcore is that right now?
Yeah, I know. After I got mine extracted, I was like, I really don't want to do anything. Like, it wasn't a horrible experience by any means, but it just wasn't something I wanted to do. It was like get in front of a camera right at that moment. I did a couple of really small videos, really short ones, and I immediately went right back and laid down.
Yeah, my videos for my first few days after extractions and there'll be little timestamps on them, like 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 4:30 p.m. because I took a big freaking nap, because I couldn't just sit down and do a video. I just couldn't. I like the meds and the pain, and just let me sleep, please. Let me sleep and drink this Ensure shake for 2 weeks. Let me sleep. Oh, I was so hungry.
Yeah, I was swollen like a little hamster, and I had bruises all. I got out of the UFC fight. Good night, sweet lady V. Love ya. But she's a little trooper, isn't she? All right, you guys, it's about to be over. I know, y'all don't want to go, but we have to. We have dogs to feed and all that stuff. I just want to say thank you to you two. Always, you're always welcome back, Chandler. Always. And next week, don't forget, October the 1st, we're having, hey, Chantel. I didn't know she was in here. Man, I tell you, these people are sneaky.
Right? Ninjas.
Right. October the 1st, next Monday, Dr. Kendarian and Ian will be here from Stable Dent to answer any questions. We will be talking about the midline. Very important. Good night, everyone. Good night, Chandler. Good night, Donna. Y'all have a good night. Y'all want to say anything? It's up to y'all.
Good night, everybody. I hope you have a good one. We'll take turns now. Okay, now Donna, you go.
Good night, John Boy. No, I'm kidding. Everybody have a good night. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I will be coughing up a lung for you people right now. Hold on. I will be having a Chomper Chat live on Wednesday night. Chandler, I'm really hoping that you will join us for that if you have some room in your schedule. Also, I need to get with Miss Valora, Sweet Lady V, is going to be a guest on Chomper Chat either this week or next. I need to verify with her. So that should be a fun time. 8 p.m. Eastern time on my channel on Wednesday. So if everybody could pop in for that. Margaret, you're down, right?
I'm waiting there right now. And Chandler, I hope you show because Donna's just that free flow. She lives just a better watch out, Chandler. I don't know if you want to come.
I'll be there. I'll be there. What time is it again?
8 p.m. Eastern, same time as this one.
I'll be there.
Sweet. I don't know why I bother saying Eastern time because we all live in the Central time zone, like all three of us. So I'd just be like, be here at 7. Okay?
Good night, everyone. Y'all have a good night. Good evening. See everyone in the comment section.
Good night, y'all. Keep being awesome.
I have a Russell Klein smile. I'm playing. I'm messing with y'all.
Look at my toes. Yeah. See what you started.
Y'all hang up now.
You hang up first.
My face is hurting right now. And Chandler's over there.
Oh, Chandler, this is why we love you. Like, work them choppers. Work.
You know who he makes me think of? I know he's not here no more, Wayne from Static X. I don't know why. If you had that mohawk, all that hair standing up, you would look like Wayne from Static X.
Yeah, man.
You know
absolutely.
I had a mohawk at one point. Actually, at like 2 different points, I have had a mohawk, and I used to have my hair really long in the middle. It's in a bunch of my videos. I cut it just recently. So, but I have done a mohawk before.
Y'all get out of my face. I'll see y'all. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
Goodbye. Closing off. Good night, guys.